world that often feels unpredictable and tumultuous, the philosophy of Stoicism stands as a beacon of calm resilience. Many people wonder how Stoics manage to remain composed in the midst of chaos, seemingly untouched by the storms that rage around them. The answer lies not in a denial of reality, nor in an ignorance of emotion, but rather in a profound understanding of what can and cannot be controlled. Stoicism, a school of philosophy founded in ancient Greece and later refined in Rome, teaches its students to distinguish between what is within their power and what lies beyond it. At the core of Stoic practice is the realization that we cannot control external events, whether sudden misfortune, the anger of others, or the shifting tides of public opinion. What we can control, however, is our own response. This simple yet radical distinction is the foundation upon which Stoics build their unshakable calm. When chaos erupts, be it in the form of personal loss, social unrest, or global uncertainty, the average person's instinct is to react. Emotions flare, panic spreads, and rational thought often gives way to impulsive behavior. The Stoic, on the other hand, pauses. They do not pretend that chaos does not exist, nor do they suppress their feelings with cold indifference. Instead, they observe the situation as it is, acknowledging its reality, while resisting the temptation to be swept away by it. This approach is rooted in the concept of the dichotomy of control. Stoics remind themselves that while they cannot control the events that unfold, they retain sovereignty over their own judgments, intentions, and actions. In the words of the Stoic philosopher Epictetus, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. By focusing on their own thoughts and behaviors, Stoics cultivate a sense of inner peace that remains intact even when the world around them descends into disorder. A key practice of Stoicism is negative visualization, or premeditatio malorum. This involves contemplating possible misfortunes before they occur. Far from being an exercise in pessimism, this practice prepares the mind for adversity. By imagining scenarios in which things go wrong, Stoics diminish the shock and fear that typically accompany chaos. They become, in a sense, emotionally vaccinated against disruption. When the unexpected happens, they are not caught off guard. They have already rehearsed their response. Equally important is the Stoic commitment to virtue. For Stoics, the highest good is not pleasure, wealth, or reputation, but the cultivation of wisdom, justice, courage, and self-discipline. These virtues guide their actions, even when circumstances are unfavorable. In the midst of chaos, a Stoic asks, "What is the right thing to do?" rather than, "How can I avoid discomfort?" This moral clarity provides a steady compass, allowing them to navigate uncertainty with integrity. Stoics also practice what is known as the view from above, a mental exercise that involves zooming out from one's immediate circumstances to see the bigger picture. By imagining themselves as a small part of the vast cosmos, Stoics gain perspective on their troubles. What seems overwhelming in the moment is revealed to be but a fleeting event in the grand scheme of things. This cosmic perspective breeds humility and resilience, reducing the emotional impact of chaos. Another reason Stoics do not react impulsively to chaos is their disciplined approach to emotion. Contrary to popular belief, Stoicism does not advocate for the suppression or denial of feelings. Instead, Stoics seek to understand their emotions, trace them to their sources, and respond thoughtfully, rather than reflexively. They recognize that emotions are natural, but that unexamined emotions can lead to rash decisions and unnecessary suffering. By training themselves to pause, reflect, and choose their response, Stoics maintain control over their inner state. This mindset does not develop overnight. It is the product of daily reflection, meditation, and self-examination. Stoic philosophers, such as Marcus Aurelius, kept journals in which they recorded their thoughts, analyzed their actions, and reminded themselves of their principles. Through such practices, they strengthened their ability to remain tranquil in the face of disorder. Ultimately, the reason Stoics do not react to chaos is that they have redefined what it means to be affected by the world. They do not place their happiness or peace of mind in the hands of fate, fortune, or the opinions of others. They understand that while the world is filled with uncertainty, their own character is within their control. By anchoring themselves in virtue and reason, Stoics create an inner fortress that chaos cannot breach. In a society that often values reactivity and sensationalism, the Stoic approach may seem countercultural. Yet, it offers a timeless lesson. True strength lies not in controlling the world, but in mastering oneself. When chaos inevitably arrives, as it always does, the Stoic remains composed, not because they are indifferent or detached, but because they have chosen to respond with wisdom, courage, and grace. In this way, the Stoic becomes a steady light in turbulent times, an example of what it means to live with purpose and peace amidst the storm.